Welcome to another Friday night. This is On Fire Family, and this is a special edition of not yacht shopping happy hour, but it is the Christmas season. And so we thought we would go through some things that are on our wish list for Santa. Cheers.
Cheers.
If you are new with us this week, we are embarking on the Great Loop in 7 months. Our family of 4 from Portland, Oregon is shopping for a Great Loop boat, shopping for all the stuff and gear that we need. We've got a lot to do to pack up our house and get stuff stored, and it's crunch time. But tonight we're just chilling with a couple of beers, joining you for happy hour. And
Deschutes Jubilee.
Yes, a lot of people
From
ask
Oregon.
what we're drinking, so yeah, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess number one, and a question that we get every single week from you guys is, and number one on our list for Santa is a Great Loop boat.
Great Loop boat.
You guys have come along for this, where we pull up Yacht World every Friday night and go shopping for a Great Loop boat. We've got a couple of favorites out there, and our broker is hard at work looking for one on the Great Loop so that we can embark. And so we are, that's our number one wish for Santa, is that he would bring us a Great Loop boat. Number 2 would be a dinghy for that Great Loop boat. We got the chance to get on a Highfield 310 Classic with a cool steering console, and we are in love with that.
Thanks to Bourbon City
Yacht Tenders.
Yacht Tenders. Mm-hmm.
So thank you, and that is definitely, we don't want Santa to bring that before we have the boat. So
I mean, I loved it. It was a lot of fun.
it was really cool. But other than that, let's get into it. We've got some stuff that we pulled up on Amazon that is things that we are looking to get here in the next few months as we embark on our Great Loop. Number 1 is marriage savers. We heard this loud and clear from so many loopers that this is a critical piece of equipment. And a little bird told me actually that my mother-in-law has already purchased these
Thanks, Mom.
to save our marriage. So yes, thank you very much. This allows you to talk to your crew. So
Without yelling.
while you're piloting the boat, you can place fenders and throw dock lines and know where you are, and to be able to communicate when you can't necessarily hear each other over the wind and waves and things. So a critical piece of gear.
And we've already done like a jerry-rigged version of this because we realized we were yelling at each other when backing up the boat trailer or camping trailer with not meaning to yell at each other, and so we switched to using our phones so we could talk calmly, and we need our hands to be free, and so this is a much better version than just using our phones, but we already know that's going to be amazing.
It's important.
Yeah.
Next up, we want to take some awesome videos for you guys. A lot of people ask, are we going to continue these videos while we're doing the Great Loop?
Absolutely.
And we do. We want to. The only exception is if it gets in the way of us actually enjoying our Great Loop.
It's true.
And so we need some tools to make it fun and awesome and more like we're playing and less like we're doing work. Because these happy hours are like we're playing, because we would do this anyway, and we thank you for just coming along and enjoying them with us. And so having a drone would be one of those things that would be just a lot of fun. So we want to take off from the boat and show you the landscape of what's around us and us cruising by and learning how not to crash into the water and things like that.
We're going to look so cool.
So the DJI Mavic Mini is DJI, top on our list from a lot of people that do the same thing from boats. But the other thing that has come up just here in the last few
He's like,
months.
so there's this new camera.
Yeah, so we need a new GoPro action camera because our old one is old and it locks up, and so we get some cool action shots, and we've done some underwater work and things like that, but a 360 camera. So GoPro makes one. This one's Insta360. Allows you to take pictures all around you, video all around you, and I think that'd be really cool, and it would be a lot more fun than setting up multiple cameras, multiple angles to be able to capture different moments and
it's going to take forever to edit because it's going to be 360 degrees of awesome things, and so to pick and choose, but it's going to be so fun.
Yeah. So look forward to that. If Santa brings us one of those, we will definitely be sharing the footage with you. And then next on our list is other kind of camera gear, again, to make it kind of fun, some new toys. This is a gimbal.
This is a very cool gimbal.
Yeah, and a friend just allowed me to play with this for a little afternoon. It was totally cool, and so I think this will make our videos kind of slick and awesome. This is another DJI Osmo product. We also have some smaller things like tripods,
It's a lot of camera gear.
microphones,
That's all.
and we're getting big time. Yeah, these
Okay.
guys are demanding. They need
Right.
high quality,
That's a lot.
entertaining videos every Friday coming out.
Right.
So we got some toys that we need to go shopping.
Well, this looks like you can use it in terrain and different uneven.
Yeah, and grab it onto like a
Handrail.
a rail of the boat or something like that. So yeah, and then some more serious but fun stuff. And this is definitely not something that you must have for the loop.
Those
But-
are expensive.
Yeah, image stabilized binoculars.
I mean,
So-
you're on a boat,
Yeah.
but
We've had binoculars on our boat before, and it's frustrating because you can see it, but it's bouncing up and down, and so you can't read transom names. You
I
can't
don't know if
tell.
it's worth $888.
And these are the cheaper ones. So if you know one way or the other, there tends to be people that are super passionate about them, but those are the people that own them, and I'm sure they're
once
equally.
you put out the coin, you're like, yeah, these are the best.
Right. So again, not a requirement, but if you're asking Santa.
I'd prefer both
And then we need a new iPad. We've got some
for navigating.
antique iPads around here,
It's like
and they work, but they barely
so
work.
antique that like it has so many old versions of Minecraft on it that our kids' friends make fun of them. Like, well, you can't do that anymore. Or how come you can't do this? And they're like, oh, we know, because we have like this super old iPad with this, 2000 version of Minecraft on it.
Yeah, and they're just Wi-Fi enabled, so they don't have cellular capability, which means they don't have built-in GPS. And so we need one with GPS.
Do they have that now?
Yeah. And so we need that because this
We
is
do need that.
a primary or secondary means of navigation. So we'll run Navionics on this to be able to show us charts, Aqua maps, and so we need. It doesn't need to be like the very latest, but at least not antique to be able to run those apps.
We've
and
never
to
actually
navigate.
had a brand new iPad. We've gotten some pretty good ones on Craigslist, but
So Santa,
brand new,
iPad.
that's like shishi.
And then into some safety gear. And mothers and mothers-in-law love this kind of thing because they ask us all the time, is the Great Loop safe? And number one, it's inherently safe, so don't worry about that. But to appease some mothers-in-law, we need a
And your mother.
portable floating VHF radio for the dinghy, for sending the kids out on paddleboard and say, hey, come back, it's dinner time, those kinds of things. This Cobra unit seemed to be reasonably
I'm
priced.
pretty sure that
and
our mothers
good reviews.
aren't pleased to be hearing that we'll do that, but
Oh,
we'll do that.
absolutely. And then for the super well prepared, and EPIRB is another mother-in-law kind of appeasing gift that she would feel a lot more comfortable. So if our boat doesn't come with an EPIRB, we don't spend a lot of time offshore in the Great Loop, but for like crossing the Gulf, for crossing Lake Michigan, for a little bit of the Atlantic,
Crossing the Bahamas.
over the Bahamas, yeah, EPIRB would be good. And so, yes. And then this is another one. Man overboard
What is this? Oh,
bracelets.
actually, I would really like this
Yeah.
because our boat's going to be much bigger than the boats that we're used to, and even our Tollycraft 34 feet. We knew where our kids were at all times, and this, I mean, there's upstairs and downstairs and outside, and bow and stern, and we won't. And so, yeah, these would be amazing.
And you can put one of these tags on the dog, and so if the dog falls overboard and gets out of range, then your phone goes off and you know that the dog is gone, or your kid is gone, or your spouse is gone, and you circle back and get them. So, yeah, probably a good.
Oh, there's a 4-pack.
Yeah, so
Dude,
this
that's
covers all of us.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, I have some sea legs, but
Yeah, I mean, anybody can take a tumble and
I'm not a spring chicken.
yeah, and we want to know about it right away. So. Yeah, and then
This, I don't know why we don't already have thermocells, because they are awesome, and we have friends that have them that totally work, and we go camping every summer, and we should just own them all the time.
yeah, so if you don't know, Thermacell is a insect repellent, and there's not very many places on the loop, I guess, that insects are a problem, but when they are, this is the go-to favorite for many loopers. And so this has like a little butane canister in it and a little chemical thing, and so you run this, and
And they also make watches, right?
no, it's like a handheld thing,
Oh, okay.
more portable than this. There's like
Our
a table.
daughter is like a mosquito magnet, so this will be worth all the whining.
And then kind of some fun things to end out. So we want to do docktails. We want to do docktails with other loopers on the dock as we arrive at places. And so we're going to need some chairs. I don't know if these are the exact chairs.
Oh, we need $100 chair. Is that 4 for $100?
This fits like in a small like water bottle size. Like it depends
what
what
boat
boat we
see
get.
that. I mean,
It's tiny.
that does look amazing, that guy holding that. But
Yeah.
I mean, we're pretty frugal generally.
Yeah, generally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
$100.
We need
camp
some chairs.
chair.
Yeah. And our kids don't sit often, and I doubt they would sit at docktails.
So we don't need 4?
So we might need 2, not 4, because they just tend to move and bounce around.
I mean, we have a lot of folding chairs and
Camp chairs and other things.
yeah, camp chairs and bleacher chairs for so our kids are in swimming, but they take up quite a bit of space. You're right.
Yeah. So depending on the boat that we get and how much capacity for junk it has, small compact chairs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And again, maybe there's a cheaper version that we can get. And then in the same vein, I've always wanted a beanbag
He's
chair.
obsessed.
I had one when I was a
Obsessed.
child. I didn't go through a beanbag phase when I was in college, and I regret it. And for 22 years, I
He's
wanted a
tried to-
beanbag chair in my house, and I've not had it.
He's
so
tried to go through it as an adult.
I figure if I'm retiring early and I get to do a year on the loop, I can have a beanbag chair.
It's not that just I'm not allowing a beanbag chair in our house. It's that he wants to replace our very comfortable large couch with
Beanbag chairs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Well,
that's why it's a no. But you know, he can have a boat beanbag chair.
the downside to the boat beanbag chair is that it is giant and it doesn't break down, and you got to have a boat size to be able to shove it somewhere. But I think I would love it. I think I would enjoy cocktails on it, watching the sunset, possibly the sunrise, drinking coffee.
Now, yesterday was Thanksgiving, and so I have a Thanksgiving story. When my sister and I were 2 and 4 years old, we snuck away from the table at Thanksgiving into my grandmother's living room, and she had a beanbag chair for who knows why, because one of her sons at the time was 14 or 15. And there was giggling, and they came out, and we were swimming in the beads in the living room, and my sister had taken off her diaper and was like probably wet and was swimming in there was like beads all over her, and my grandma said she was vacuuming them out for at least 6 years after that. So I have like this kind of aversion to that, but our kids are old enough not to do that.
Yeah. And the dog would be chill. She'll just take a nap on it. So. Well, that's it, folks. That is what is on our Christmas list for our great loop. Thank you for joining us for this special edition. Happy Thanksgiving. Welcome to the holiday season. Thank you for joining us for another happy hour. We sure enjoy making these. We sure enjoy hearing from you. If you have any of these products or we've missed something that you think we ought to have on our great loop, put it down below in those comments. I'll put a link to all of these things down there so you can see.
He's done his research.
Yeah,
So.
I tend to overshop, so go ahead and find those things and click on them if you want. We'll see you next week for another Yacht Shopping regular version. Cheers.
Cheers.
It's not